Pull up in my crib. I got people locked in like they.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here on 2K Sports alongside Shaq and Kenny the Jet. The playoff picture coming into focus, but still a handful of games yet to be played. We'll watch.
It's game time here in Miami as the crowds at the and with outstanding DA. Thank you. Evident in this one, Brent, the youth movement in full effect. What advice would you have for inexperienced players who have to take on bigger roles?
The thing I always talk to younger players about, Kevin, is always accentuate the positives. Do what you do best and show that off as consistently as possible, and then take the summers to improve your weaknesses. Players always improve the most during their off season, but when coaches are asking you to accentuate your positives, stay right in that role and be the best you can with that. Work on the weaknesses in the off season.
Helps too if you have a coach who's in that mindset of developing and showing some patience.
Well, not only a coach, Kevin, I'll go as far as to say that sometimes when you have a young player get drafted, for him to have a mentor automatically on that first team that he's with, starting his first 3 or 4 years in the league, is vitally important. And you'll see, if you go through track records, some of the most successful teams have had veterans in position where the young star is trying to find his footing.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. John Collins is out there with JaVale McGee. And it's Durant. Then it's Zach LaVine. And it's Dinwiddie in at the 1 spot. LaVine against Wade, and LaVine, here we go. Yep, it counts.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Well, you have to be able to trust each other on the defensive end of the floor. Otherwise, the whole thing is just going to crumble.
And Bogdanovich kicks to Dragic. Shot clock at 6. And Siakam has it in the corner. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Siakam's got 8 points.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Dinwiddie surveying the floor. Here's LaVine, and he slams it down right on top of Karl Anthony Towns.
And I don't know if there's anybody who can match LaVine when it comes to the art of the dunk. He is a highlight reel waiting to happen.
Durant against Bogdanovich. Passes it to Dragic. And there's another one for the Heat.
And head coach Eric Spoelstra always looking for different perspectives, looking to tweak and change certain things and constantly learning. That's a growth mindset. We hear him talk about that a lot, and it's something that he encourages not only his staff to do, but his players as well. Phenomenal use of the body there to free himself up from the defender and get a clean look at the basket.
The feed now to Towns. McGee with the block. Outside, LaVine. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Durant against Bogdanovich. Lets it go from 11. Another one falls for Phoenix.
And Kevin Durant, great length and using his advantage on the inside.
Here's Wade. Again, the Heat good for 2.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Suns trail by 6. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Dinwiddie kicks to Durant. He feeds it to McGee. The shot, no good. Towns with the defensive effort. Bogdanovich passes to Dragic. We've got 13 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Outside, Towns. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And for a player with his size, Towns has always been very comfortable at the free throw line. And that's a good thing because he finds himself there quite a bit.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
He talks so much about rhythm from the field. How about a rhythm from the free throw line? That looks good.
And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
Poor decision making there. No idea what he's going for with that kind of pass in that situation.
And so it's Miami holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. There. The former #1 pick overall in 2015, Carl.
Every single day we're thinking about how can we be.
Yep, one step at a time, Greg. That's the mindset to have.
Yeah, you can't have too much too early. But with Towns leading the charge, this team is in great hands.
And we return to the second quarter, and Noche Latina specialized jerseys on display. Welcome back, everyone. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Heat?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Love the pace they're playing with. Anytime you can get your offense going without the defense setting up, you've got a huge advantage.
On the court right now, second quarter starting for the Suns. We've got Durant. JaVale McGee is out there with John Collins. Then it's Zach LaVine, and it's Dinwiddie in at the 1. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
He kicks to McGee. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Here's Dinwiddie to the paint with his first shot attempt. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. The Heat leading by 8. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Wade with it. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Miami no good on that time either.
Somehow, some way, he couldn't get that one to fall from in between. Got to take advantage of the weak defense when you can.
Here's Siakam. Miami no good on that time either. And so it's Durant with it. He'll bring it up for Phoenix. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Dinwiddie kicks to McGee. A floater and the rejection by Towns. 16 feet away, and Dragic with the basket on the assist by Wade. Dragic has got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Heat. And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. This, of course, their first chance to play Miami this season. The G League is testing out more ways to speed up the game. Shorter overtime periods, a 14-second shot clock after an offensive rebound. You think those are necessary things?
I think they're worth trying out, Kevin. I don't know necessarily that they're necessary. Is that redundant?
No,
it might have been.
It makes sense when you say it.
But the Little League always exploring ways to improve the game, and I commend Adam Silver and the competition committee for trying.
Bogdanovich against Durant. Bogdanovich, no luck.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, I think coaches right here are always talking about the extra pass, and a contested three is not your objective. One more, maybe.
LaVine feeling it out a bit. Here's Dinwiddie. And again, it's the Suns missing. The Heat leading by 10. Here's Siakam. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Siakam's got 10 points. The Suns have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter. 0 for 5. Wade against LaVine. Kicks it to McGee. Pass to Dinwiddie. Over Dragic. Phoenix no good that time either. The Heat have gone only 2 of 7 from the field since the second quarter got underway. And that one's good. Towns.
Got to have good court awareness, and it was on display right there from Bogdanovich.
The pass to McGee. Here's Dinwiddie. He's guarded by Dragic. That one goes. Count it. 6 points for him.
When a guy is capable of so many things like that on the offensive end, anytime you lose sight of him, he's got a huge advantage.
Pass to Towns. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
Great aware.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again. So it's Miami who's out on top at the half. They lead by 14. Kenny?
Well, they were completely in rhythm shooting the basketball. Just watching the flow of their offense, everything clicked into place. Fantastic shot selection. They took.
And now with the second half about to.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Suns trail by 14. Dragic and Wade, the 2 playmakers in the guard spots. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. Then there's Bogdanović. And it's Siakam in at the 4. So that's who Eric Spoelstra starts the second half with.
And defensively, you've got to make a greater effort working over the screens.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lazy play right there. You're hoping that the guy misses the shot without really doing your job and challenging it.
And it's Towns missing. Well, Phoenix shooting 43% for the game.
And the Suns have never won an NBA title. It's amazing for such a proud and storied franchise. Just one trip to the finals since the merger back in 1993. That was when they lost to the Chicago Bulls.
Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line. It's going to be Wade shooting. It's on Zach LaVine. And you think about the Suns team with Dan Marley, Kevin Johnson, Danny Ainge. Brent, they had a chance.
Well, a guy named Michael Jordan ruined a lot of the title chances for a lot of teams. The Suns were one of them. They came close, but eventually MJ's Bulls a little bit too tough for that Phoenix Suns team.
Siakam passes to Bogdanović. He kicks it to Dragic. Back to Bogdanović. Passes it to Siakam. Towns with it. He's guarded by Collins for 3. Siakam misses. Suns trail by 14. Outside, LaVine. Will not go. This is off the front iron. And so it's Towns with it. He brings it up for Miami. 14 points, their largest lead in the game. A second chance effort. He lays it in. Towns has got 8 points.
Yeah, that was the 3rd straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Phoenix calls timeout.
Well, this Heat organization has had such a great run of success under their owner, Mickey Arison, and what Pat Riley has done to pour the foundation of the culture around Miami. This is not a team that likes to throw away any chance to compete, or any season for that matter.
And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Stolen by Wade. Towns dishes to Wade. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by LaVine. Here we are, 2 games left before the start of the playoffs. Let's take a look at the possible field. Taking a look at Indiana. Very strong season they've had, always at or near the top of the conference. And right now they're in first place in contention for that, exactly where they want to be as they close in on the postseason. And of course the Heat, they're in the 6th position.
And you know, for the Heat, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
Well, the goal is very defined. They have to have a strong finish to the season and make sure they get home court advantage for at least the first few rounds of the playoffs.
Here's McGee. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. And memories of the Big 3 era of Bosh and Wade and LeBron James still fresh, Brent, in the memory of the Heat organization.
Well, more fresh in the memory of the fans of the Miami Heat. The organization trying to do their best to move forward and move on. Of course, that team 4 straight finals appearances, won 2 NBA championships. They want to get back to that level. They know they got to find some talent and some diamonds in the rough, and trying to figure out a path to get there.
Dinwiddie kicks to Durant. To the inside, and the slam dunk by McGee.
Yeah, Kevin knows when he can score, so he waits, makes sure that somebody else doesn't have a better shot before he does that. Good play there.
Pass to Bogdanovic. Back to Wade. 35 seconds left in the third. Towns, no luck.
You can see how clued in the defense is to take away those mid-range shots and challenge. Solid at getting a hand up in the face of the scorers.
Here's Dinwiddie. He's guarded by Dragic. Over Bogdanovic, and he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
That's where Durant is making a living right now, a sensational jump shooter and a deadly release.
Here's Towns, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
For Miami, they have gone 2 for 3 at the foul line in this game. And Towns drops them both. And so it's the Miami Heat holding a big 18-point. Head coach Eric Spoelstra mic'd up along the sideline. Let's check it out.
I like that trip, you guys.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Setting the floor for the Suns, JaVale McGee is out there with Collins. Then it's Zach LaVine, and it's Durant, and it's Dinwiddie in at the point guard position. Stolen by McGee. Durant with it, now guarded by Dragic. And that one's good. Durant's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Phoenix. Dragic the pass to Siakam. Good ball movement here by Miami. Towns finds Dragic. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. And the Heat lead by 18. Talk about what it means to be a good teammate, Brent. You've played with good ones. You've played with bad ones. I've always thought you were team first when you play.
Well, I appreciate that, Kevin. There's just an idea about what it is that you can contribute to the team. I think you always have to accentuate those ideals. Your approach on a daily basis has to be consistent. And if you're a starting player, it's one mentality. And if you're somebody that plays off the bench, you have to come to practice every day to push the guy that's in front of you and wait for your opportunity. But most of the time, it's that kind of consistency with which you come to work and the attitude of making sure that I want to make any kind of contribution I can for our team's success. That usually is a pretty good formula for a good teammate.
Outside, Bogdanovic. We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. And that one, good.
And where's the fight defensively? I mean, you know you need stops to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, down by double digits, failing to shut down the lane. It has been a rough night.
Phoenix calls timeout. One thing I like about Adam Silver, he is always looking to break new ground, push the envelopes, and develop new areas of innovation.
Well, always forward thinking. And of course, this league has always done that. Adam has found a new position in the league, having a chief innovation officer in place, somebody that's always examining not only how things are going in the league and maybe being adaptable to change, but examining what's going on worldwide. And you always see the way the league tinkers with and toys with Summer League and the way the G League competition sets up in order to try to find more ways to make the game more enjoyable or more accessible to the fan base.
Towns kicks to Wade. Here's Dragic, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
And with time becoming a factor, that may do it, guys.
Well, leads are not given. They are earned, playing with desire and attention to detail all night.
Goran Dragic started his career in Phoenix under the mentorship of Steve Nash.
Well, he still loves to push the pace and still loves to attack the paint. We'll see if he can be an effective player in his late 30s, the way that Steve Nash led his teams.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Heat.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Karl Anthony Towns.
I like his aggressiveness here tonight, especially on the glass. He was not messing around.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Well, Brent, the Heat with an experienced front office and one of the best young coaches in the league in Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, Spo has done a remarkable job. Tremendous amount of respect around the league for the way that Eric Spoelstra goes about his business, the way he handled the title runs and all those personalities and those dynamics. He has been fantastic and will coach in Miami for as long as he wants to. The way he goes about it is pride, work, and respect for anybody that walks through those locker room doors.
The shot's good from McGee.
And this is what happens when you fail to block out.
Defensive rebounding just as important as causing the miss in the first place.
Dragic looking it over. Inside. Kicks it to Jackson. Just 5 on the clock. Miami needs to get a shot off. From deep. No good from Dragic. Here's Farrell. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up for
Like, we don't practice. Who said I don't